welcome the pilgrims and to the buffaloes who once ruled a plain. Like the vultures circling beneath the dark clouds, looking for the rain, looking for the rain. Just like the cities that stagger on the coastline, in a nation that just can't stand much more. Like the forest buried beneath the highway, never had a chance to grow, never had a chance to grow. And now it's winter, winter in America. Yes, and all of the healers have been killed, sent away. Yeah, but the people know that it's winter, winter in America. And ain't nobody fighting, 'cause nobody knows what to say. Save your soul, Lord knows it's winter in America. The Constitution, a noble piece of paper, with free society, struggle but they died in vain. And now democracy is ragtime on the corner, hoping for some rain. They look like he's hoping for some rain. And I see the robins perched in barren treetops. They're watching last-ditch races marching across the floor. But just like the peace sign that vanished in our dreams, never had a chance to grow, never had a chance to grow. And now it's winter, it's winter in America. Have been killed or betrayed. Yeah, but the people know that it's winter. Lord knows it's winter in America. And ain't nobody fighting, 'cause nobody knows what to say. Save your soul from a winter in America. Stick.
Hey, y'all hit the like. Make sure y'all hit the like now. Subscribe to the channel. We about to try our ball one more time.
Boom shakalaka.
Salute everybody in the house. Serpent King Morpheus in the house. Juan in the house, salute. White History Month, we about to get into it. Hit the like, subscribe, share the video if you want to support the House of Cards. We got the cash up at the top of the screen, cash.app/$House of Cards.
And now it's winter,
Hey, Motor Gate in the house.
winter in America. And all of the healers done been killed, sent away. Yeah, the winter in America. And ain't nobody fighting,
One
cause
chin on the house, salute.
nobody knows what to say. And ain't
Nobody fighting,
cause
nobody knows what to
nobody
say.
And ain't nobody fighting, cause nobody knows what to say.
Tribe Bob. Welcome to the House of Cards. I'm Blackjack. Salute to everybody in the house. Gil, Scott, Aaron in the house. Salute. That went to America, my nigga. Went to in America, my nigga. We tribing up one more time. We got a good show lined up for White History Month.
Shut up!
Yeah, that's right. White History Month. Hey, the Covenant Von Amarin Wolf in the house. Salute.
Boom shakalaka!
Collect 73 consonants in the house. Salute.
Boom shakalaka!
Oh man, White History Month, you know what I'm saying? They be talking about Black History Month, I be wanting to talk about White History Month. People are like they don't want to talk about certain things. Like they only want to teach about certain things. And I switched the thumbnail up from the intro photo. Y'all know on the thumbnail we had this right here. Salute. See, they be saying indentured servants, but I be telling y'all that's really a slave. Getting whooped, getting hung and everything, trying to escape. But one thing they never, you know, they was escaping just like the Negro slaves. But for some strange reason though, the white slaves never could find the Indians, and they ain't know the language either. But the Negro slaves, somehow, they said we was from Africa, but somehow we ran up on the Indian tribes. We knew the language and everything, and we was welcome right on in. But ain't it happened with the white slaves. The white slaves ain't know where they was lost. They ain't, when the white slaves trying to escape, they was hoping some Negroes were with them, because they ain't know where to go. Especially the white women slaves. Boy, you know Becky can't run. You know Becky gonna fall before she even get out the damn plantation. Becky done failed. So they didn't know the languages. The Negro slaves knew the Indian language from just like Columbus. Columbus knew where he was going. He said, "Man, it's gonna be Indians over there. I need to take a Hebrew interpreter." That's what Columbus did. He took Pedro Niños. Columbus said, "Make sure I got me some Hebrew interpreters with me when I run up on these niggas." But somehow the escaped slaves, they ain't need no Hebrew interpreter. Got slaves like Aunt Jemima. Got Hebrew names. They ain't need no Hebrew interpreter. They knew just how to speak to the Indians. I don't think those slaves was from Africa. But we talking about the indentured slaves today. And this is where that thumbnail picture come from. People want to say indentured servant. A servant is a slave. If you came to my house and you was like, and we was chilling watching TV, and you was like, "Blackjack, I'm thirsty, man. Can I get something to drink?" And I say, yeah, my brother, my sister, I'll give you something to drink. And I call my servant. I said, "Servant, get my brother and my sister in the drink." You would look at me like, this Naga Blackjack got a slave in here. That's what you would be saying. You would say Blackjack got a slave. So a servant is a slave. A servant is synonymous with slave. A servant is, matter of fact, let's go there real quick before we jump on here and finish talking about this thumbnail photo. But a servant is synonymous with slaves, with a slave. Synonymous with slave. 'Cause they want to try to make these people feel better. They a bondsman, a servant, chatels, serfs, helots, handmaids, thralls. So servant is number 2. The servant, bondsman number 1 on the list, and servant is number 2. Salute. Let's note that. Let's note the number 2 words that are equal to slave, because you know what synonym mean. Synonymous means equal to, synonym, synonymous. You can replace slave and put one of these words in. You can say chattel slave, or you can say chattel servant. You speaking of the same thing. You can say chattel bondsman, you speaking of the same thing. You can say indentured bondsman, you speaking of indentured servant. Indentured slave, the same thing, man. We're not gonna play games with words to make white people feel better. When you trying to make tellers and immigrants comfortable. We ain't trying to make them comfortable, make them feel better. Nope. Y'all were slaves. You was a slave. Your ancestors was indentured servants. They were slaves. The white slave. 1807 to 1865. Richard Herondale. This page 65. This is where that photo come from. If anybody wanted to know. Because I know some people like, man, Blackjack be getting these pictures. Where the hell he be getting them from? But Pete Gang now, see, like, I was sure I got it too. I started to put it up on the wall today for y'all for the show and take my ancestor down. I started to do that. I had this one in my shed though, so I do my target practice. You know what I'm saying, when I do my target practice. But that's where it come from. Richard Herondale, 1807, the white slave. There's other pictures here. There's other pictures of the white slave trying to escape and stuff, getting hung, getting whooped on. Cause see, like they want you to talk about Black History Month, and they want to take you on some Kunta Kinte stuff. But you got to know the truth about history and how America got filled up with white people and these immigrants. Hey, salute to the real autonomous defense league in the house. Salute. So you gotta understand, we talking White History Month. We talking about everything they told you about you. We gotta look at it about them. That's why they don't want a White History Month. They were getting whooped on. They were getting hung and everything. They was escaping slavery, but they didn't know how to find the Indians. They didn't intermarry with Indians. They didn't know the languages for some strange reason. But they were slaves. Trial of Affection, page 65. All right, so when we go to that, Richard Hildreth, 1807 to 1865, The White Slave, or Memoirs of a Fugitive. Salute. The White Slave, Memoirs of a Fugitive. Because this is important, we speak about white history in America. They want to end DEI and stuff like that, but no, we're not ending DEI over here. It's made for white people. Now, this Trial of Affection, page 65, page 1 of many. And look what it says in the subject. African Americans, punishment and torture. Now, let's not forget, we talking about The White Slave, or Memoirs of a Fugitive. Subjects, African American. So who the real African American? Like Elon Musk, salute. The greatest African American of all time, Elon Musk. Salute to Elon. Elon Musk, the greatest African American we ever seen. We talking about the white slaves. Yeah, he's about to get whooped. And look who went and caught him. Look who was the slave catcher with his bloodhound over there, Mike, looking like Uncle Sam. I know what I'm looking at. I know what I'm looking at when I look at how he's dressed. And by the way, you supposed to be some kind of slave from Africa, but you dress nothing like an African. In fact, you not even dressed like the colonizer. You ain't got on tights. You ain't no men in tights. Huh? You ever thought about that? You supposed to be from Africa and all this and that. They tell you from Africa you a slave, but then they know that the story ain't being fully told correctly. Every time they see you, especially if you got on some red, white, and blue or you got on some coarse jeans or crocosite looking thing, they say, yup, see, that's a slave. That's what they tell you, right? And then they'll tell you, well, the slaves made their own clothes. See, they telling you this to cover their track. They know that the clothes that the American Negro so-called slave had on was nothing like the clothes that the colonizers was wearing, and it was nothing like the clothes that the Africans was wearing. What you looking at, you thinking it's slave clothing. They told you you made yourself already. You ain't putting two and two together. You was supposed to be a slave, but you making your own clothing, huh? You supposed to be from Africa, come over on the ship naked, but you over here making your own clothing. And then when you get over here, your clothing is nothing like the clothing from Africa, right? You supposed to have been a slave, but you might have been, but you ain't been the slave that you thinking of. And they say, yeah, you made your own clothes, but your clothing was not European, and it was nothing like the clothing in Africa. I'm pointing this out for a reason, and it's off the subject a little bit, but it is still on subject. We're gonna get back to this white history, but since we talking about that, I need to point that out. And I got the evidence too, matter of fact, because I always keep my eyes open for stuff that I see, and I'm finna post it in the community chat right now, so I could pull it up on screen to show you what I mean. Show you exactly what I mean. Let me pull up my home channel again. So your clothing was distinctly different than Europeans. You wasn't wearing this what is this, velvet? With a lace top and men in tights. Like them boys was men in tights. They was on some men in tights stuff. You first off, you invented jeans. The Negro invented jeans. First off, let's make that clear. Let's make this clear. Because they want to tell you, yeah, the slaves made their own clothes. They want to try to cover their tracks. It's something that they're not telling you. They calling you a slave saying you made your own clothes. It's for a reason. They telling you this. Negro cloth, look, was a rough, coarse, unfinished form. It was an excellent low-cost textile. Look, now they want to say for slave clothing. So they want to keep putting the word Negro with slave, right? Now look. Hold on, let me go to images. So we go on Negro cloth. Even right here from a newspaper clipping. Superior American Negro cloths. Look, the subscriber has just received 12 bales of Superior Negro cloths, and 2 bales of heavy American blankets, all wool. See, so what you thinking that you was looking at the slavery, you really looking at stuff that you was already doing in your culture that you created. Hey, Papa Short in the house. And that explains why you already making your own clothes. That explains why you chose a particular color pattern and color and pattern, and it was very different than the colonizers. The colonizer was dressing nothing like you, and it was very different than the African also. Africans were not wearing this. Let's make that clear. Well, back to what we talking about though. You see the men in tights. You still see the evidence. The men in tights. He not dressed like them. You gonna say, oh, he a slave just because you looking at his clothes. But what if you just looking at your ancestors' culture and you just didn't even understand? And then the colonizer played along with it. Yup, that's a slave. The whole time they the slave. He ain't dressed like nobody in the room. He the one got the dog, the slave catcher. Yeah, you thought it was just you getting hung, getting strung up and hung, huh? We're talking about these indentured slaves. He about to kick the barrel up from up under him. Y'all see that? He about to kick the barrel right up from under. Hey, salute the one general, man. Salute the one general for the $5 donation.
Boom shakalaka!
He about to kick the barrel right up from up underneath him. And look who hiding behind. Look at Waldo. Where's Waldo? Hiding behind the tree watching. How come the indentured slaves never had an uprising? I think the Negroes would have had an uprising. You know, it was several Negro uprisings. Where the white slave uprisings was at? He got his whip. He scared, shook. That look like an Italian. I don't even see no Negroes. I see a whole bunch of white slaves. He scared. That joker there scared to run. You would have taken Monarch in the house. Hey, if you was gonna try to escape, do not get bruh right here behind the tree. Do not get him in on the plan. Oh, y'all gonna get He gonna tell on everybody. Hey, he had to tell him to get out the car before the mission started. He gotta get his ass out the car. You know what I'm saying? He gonna bust somebody worked out. His ass scary as hell. Yeah. But it's funny though, because it's easy to find. Like, so they always talking about they don't know how we got here. You know what I'm saying? Then we be like, well, where the hell the damn slave ships at? Well, we don't know. They all shipwrecked. They got all kind of excuses. We trying to just figure it all out. They say, well, what part of Africa you got us from? We don't know. We don't really know. All this old BS, right? They just say, yeah, just from Africa anywhere. We got you out of anywhere in Africa, right? But then when you can't find your story. They pull up with an old piece of old ass piece of wood talking about, see, this was a slave ship. Like if you try to look up a slave ship found, they just gonna show you a piece of rotted wood. Don't look nothing like no ship. I can't even tell where it came from. That's all they gonna show you. But then they got this slave ship database that everybody don't realize is fake as hell because it's corrupted. But then, so when you try to look at the other side, when you say, you know what, forget this Black History Month and all these lies, I say, I'm studying White History Month. So I said, fuck the slave ships. I want to know about the convict ships. And where's the convict ships to America database? That's what I want to know. I said, if the transatlantic lie, I said, I need to see the convict slave ship database to America. Hey, Rasta Hill in the house. And that's what I'm on. Because I'm on this real history journey. I'm not on the fake stuff. So he gave me a whole list, starting with the Library of Congress. So I knew this was real. I knew I was on the right track. Someone told me my research was fake, and I didn't know what I was talking about. But I said, okay, whatever. But see, so I went straight to the Library of Congress, and it said online resource. They said this is a resource for indentured servants, apprentices, and convicts, right from the Library of Congress.gov. They say convictsexternalancestry.com. So I'll say I need to go in this one. It say you can find articles about searching for convict records and blah, blah, blah. I went straight to it. I said, let me see that one first. I said, I'm marching right down this damn list. And so this is what you get to. You gotta, it's just the online resources showing you a list, basically. So this is the Library of Congress. And they say research guides, because that's what we is. And House of Con, we researchers. We might be kind of ghetto with it. We be on some bullshit sometimes. I ain't gonna lie. We do be on some bullshit sometimes. But we real researchers though. So we went to the Library of Congress for some research, and it said indentured servants, apprentices, and convicts finding family histories at the Library of Congress. I said, I knew it. Yes. I said, I got it. Jackpot. I said, I done found out where all the white people came from. I said, I found it. It's very easy. It took me one search. It took me one search to find out where all the white people in America came from. Because this is important, man. This is very important to me. So it's got the online resources down here. Starting off with the American Philosophical Society Library and Museum. You got apprentices. You got convicts. All this on Ancestry. So like I used to have an Ancestry account. But I stopped paying them because I found a way to do genealogy for free. And that's on freefamilysearch.org. Cause I was like, why pay Ancestry $80 a month when I could just use freefamilysearch.org? And that's what I started doing. But see, this stuff here is on Ancestry, like this convict. So if you want to see that on Ancestry, you have to pay for an account on Ancestry. With like convicts from England to America. I might even just go on and pay for another Ancestry account just to look at this. Because I don't know if it's on Free Family Search or not. Criminal transportation from the UK. UK ass knockers. Look, Family Search. See, that's what I'm talking. That's the one I be on, Family Search. Now, see, we finna get deep with this. I'm just going through on this. Family Search research, Maryland sources of indentures. That's what. See, that's what we need to start calling them. You effing indenture. What you said to me. They try to call you the N-word or something. You call them an effing indenture. Geography of slavery in Virginia. That one they're probably interesting. Geography of slavery in Virginia. It's by white people. Digital collection of newspaper advertisements for the capture of runaway servants, and slaves. It's the same thing. In Virginia. It's trying to make white people feel better than feel comfortable, man. I guess servant mean white and slave mean black in their eyes, but it's the same thing. Look. National Society Descendants of Colonial Indentured Servants. Old Bailey online. Okay, trial and sentences in English, Old Bailey. So all this is about white slaves that came to America, how white people got in America, the indentured service, apprentices and convicts, finding family histories. Now see, and this is a list within a list. See, I'm just getting started. I just clicked on the first one in the Google search. Online resources. We got a whole list of stuff down here. But the first one gave us a list. We're going to go back. But before we go back to that list off the first one, look at the other ones. From the National Archives, criminal transportation. See, this is how you find all the white people ancestry. Bonded passengers, look at that, remember, to America. Those are slaves. Because remember, right away in the beginning, we looked up the synonymous with slaves. Bondsman was the first one, and servants was number 2. So a slave, a bondsman, and a servant is definitely the same thing. Ain't no doubt in that. Bonded Passengers to America, Volume 1 and 2, 1615. That's before 1619. They was been bringing white slaves. They got a whole list of ships. They talking about you ain't got no ship for you. But they got a whole list of the ships carrying London. They got Middlesex. They got all. See, they know exactly where they came from. They know where all the white people came from. We got them. We own them now, boss. In their home countries. See, if we really wanted to send all the white people back, like if we got control again of the land and we wanted to send all the white people back and we wanted to send all the illegal aliens out the country, like we took Donald Trump advice and we said, you know what, you got to pack your bags too, bro. You know what I'm saying? And we can send all the illegal aliens back home. We got all their home. We got a whole list of their home countries since 1615. We just have to lock them all up first, do their genealogy, find out who they is, send them back to their country, or we can just throw them all back to Europe and let them figure it all out. Look, Benjamin Franklin, you know what I'm saying? And then we can send the Mexicans too. The Mexicans next, they gotta go too. FAS convict ship 360. Arrived in 1831. Look, but they got the list. They can't give you none of this about your black ass, though. Your so-called, no, let me get it right. Your so-called black ass. Prison ship records from the War of 1812. We got records on records. I can make a whole channel about white slavery, and I ain't got to talk about nothing else. I got plenty of sources right here, and there's pages and pages of sources. But right now, we're going to go back to the first one. And I was looking at this right here, this immigrant servant database. Look, overseas origins of immigrant slaves.
Big dummy.
Sick your $5 ass down before I make it. Got him!
And I ain't playing, nigga.
I am serious. These immigrants, slaves, not servants, slaves. We got to get it right. Let's just make it. Because we don't got to say servant, bondsman, and slave. We can just make one word, slave. Salute. One word. What kind of slave? Immigrant slave. So you could do a search. You could search names. You could do advanced search. Like if you know somebody, like if you know their date of birth and where they were born, like you could look up famous people and you could search them. Look, overseas origins, experience colonial laws. Look it up. So we go to the search first. Let's go to the search. Look, it say, oops, this page cannot be found. What's up with that? But it still say search. So let me put in this. Donald Trump. Let me just see what happened. Let's see if any Trump ancestors come up. Nothing found. I'm going to have to do it different. Or let me back up. See, they don't. Let me go to advanced search then. Oops, that page came. All right, so this, look, call us for a free consultation. They talking about a free consultation. They must make you pay for everything else then. I get it. It's a pay site. We'll get up on out of this one. Let's get up on out that one. Let's go to another one. Let me see. Immigrant servant database. Oh yeah, that one. My dumb ass. Look what it say. This is what we had just clicked on. Immigrant servants database provided by Price Genealogy. It says the price, motherfucker. They say this page cannot be found until your ass paid. Damn, boy, they don't be playing about this research shit. These MFers don't be playing, boy. Look, geography of slavery in Virginia. Here's a collection of newspaper advertisements for the capture of runaway servants and slaves in Virginia. Let's click on that one. This one got to be free. Look at that. See, they want to start right off and show you a niglet begging. They need to cut it out, man. I wish they tell the truth more often, man. Alright, we're not looking for that. We're looking for white slaves today. Let's go to another one. It's a family search, Maryland source. It was another one I clicked on, from Newgate to the New World. Look, it's a female convicts transported to the Americas. Let's see what that got to offer. And the female convicts, man, see they got cookies on. I ain't trying to sell no cookies with back out there. It's some of them ain't got all this BS attached to them. Like I know Family Search ain't got it, because I got a Family Search page. Look, Maryland immigration and immigration. Look at this. How to find the records, online database and resource, cultural groups, passport records, offices, National Archives, colonial period, British immigrants, African Americans, German immigrants, other cultural groups. 15, all U.S. and Canada passenger immigration lists. Dang, from the 1500s to the 1900s. Dang, now look at that. So you got passenger immigration lists in the 1500s. Well, you ain't got them slave ships. Now you got these so-called African slave ships though, because they don't exist. I see a dollar sign. You ain't going to that one. I don't make enough money on YouTube to be buying this shit. I used to be buying shit. I ain't buying shit no more. I don't make no money on YouTube. One general hit me up with $5. But everybody else like, F that knocker blackjack. I know what everybody be saying. I be pocket watching. Boy, I be pocket watching some of these other content creators. Boy, knockers be blowing these knockers up. And these knockers don't even be talking about shit. I be like, man, what the hell? Like these knockers blowing these knockers up. I'm over here pocket watching.
Sick your $5 ass down before I make change.
Look, 1820, 1964. Look at that. They still, man. When they need to bring this shit to 2025, they still bringing immigrants up in this illegal immigrants in this bitch. 1820 to 1964. See, boy, they gonna tell you, yeah, the slave trade was 1619 to 1808. That's what they gonna tell you. No man, we stopped bringing slaves after that, but and then we ended slavery in 1865. That's what they tell you. But the whole time, they still bringing slaves over here, even in 1964, in 2024, 2025. Y'all don't think these immigrants are slaves? You got another thing coming if you don't think they slaves. And I'm gonna show you just how. I'm gonna get to these new immigrants. I'm gonna get to these new ninjas. They the new slaves. And I'm gonna show you what I'm talking about. All these white slave ancestor records, and some of these African Americans is white. U.S. citizenship and immigration. And see, immigration, we need to, like, while they reforming government and doing all this change, they need to do some more for them. Matter of fact, we need to petition. We need to petition for a change. We need to petition for a new branch of government. Since while they firing everybody else, we need a new office. I propose, like, all right, now how we got an office of immigration, we got like immigration enforcement, like ICE. We need a branch that's called invasion enforcement, because I believe it's a difference. An immigrant, in order to be an immigrant, you got to enter a country legally. Even if it's asylum or refugee status, whatever, it got to happen legally, or you an invader. If you come illegally, you're not even a legal immigrant to me. You're a legal invader. So we need two different branches to handle that. We need to have immigration handle the people that come in legally, and then we need to have the invasion force to handle the people that come illegally. And like the invasion force, the Constitution does not apply to the invaders. To invade, if you come in illegally, you officially you categorize now as an invader, and it ain't gonna even be immigration dealing with you. The invasion force gonna deal with you, and they don't have no constitutional law to abide by nothing. And then see, this would stop all of this. We need to write it up in the Constitution or whatever, how we got to do it, that you only are immigrant if you come legally. If you come illegally, you an invader. That's something different. Just like they want to say serving in slaves, try to make like it's something different. Okay, immigrant and invader is something different. If you come in illegally, you an invader. If you come in legally, you can say you an immigrant. So it'll be different laws and rules apply. You see what I'm saying? And then like, so for the invader, like we got border patrol, we got invader patrol. They got different rules. We have a whole invader patrol army. That'd be like a new army we got. And then they don't got no rules. They get to play however they want to play. And then like, and we need to force Mexico and Canada. Like when people try to immigrate, even when the people try, because it's gonna only be legal. Immigration should only be legal. We should only honor legal immigration. Any illegal, that's invasion. So to handle the legal immigrants, what we should do when people try to immigrate to America the legal way, we should have two offices, one in Canada and one in Mexico. And then while we check them out for the next 5 or 10 years to make sure we want to let them in the U.S. first, they got to stay at our plantation in Mexico or in Canada, depending on whatever side they come from. They coming from the north, they got to stay on our Canada plantation for 5 to 10 years while we decide that they good enough to come in here and they ain't no threat and they ain't gonna be waving their funky flag and shit. And or in Mexico, if they coming from the south, we got a whole plantation down there in Mexico, and we need to force their governments to do what the fuck we say, because they can't do nothing about it any damn way. That's how you control immigration. You have legal immigration, and that's how you do it. You make them stay in Mexico or Canada for 5 or 10 years while we checking them out. Make sure we want to let them in. And anybody coming illegally, you ain't even no immigrant at all, bitch. You invader. It's whatever with your ass. Constitution don't apply to you.
Got him!
That don't apply to you.
And I ain't playing, nigga.
That'll end all the bullshit. That'll end all the bullshit. Visa files, all this wasted money out of our pockets. And it started with the British immigrants, the European immigrants, and look, the white African Americans, because we know the only black African Americans is the ones that work at the store, and they come from Africa for real. They're the only real African Americans. They straight up tell you they don't even claim to be. They can tell you they're African. Go to your local corner store that got an African working in there that don't even live in your neighborhood. When they'll live around you niggas. Ask him what he called himself. I bet he tell you an African. He say he ain't gonna even call himself African American. Well, but we know the white slave, the bondsman. And peep this. These new immigrants, man, these people so stupid. Matter of fact, I'm gonna put it like this here, man. I believe the whole Mexico, the whole country of Mexico, I believe everybody in there work for the cartel. That's just how I feel. The government, the military, the citizens, all of them, they part of the cartel. Everybody from Mexico, in my eyes, is part of the cartel. And they part of the cartel. And I'm gonna show you what I mean. These immigrants and they slaves. All these Latino slaves that came in America. Let me show you something, man. Let me show you something. Yeah, right here. Hey, fair use. Matter of fact, let me pull them off the screen. Hold on, wait a minute, because I don't want them to copyright strike me for playing their stuff. But it's something that that said here. Hold on, let me pull up the right part. Where it's at? Hold on. All right, wait a minute. Wait. Deal coming. There you go, right here. At you, this. All right, so this the video we finna review on some fair use. Let me skip this ad about these legal immigrants.
Material that was stacked because we were.
Check this out. Now I ain't gonna leave it up on the screen. Cause I know Nick Johnson ass a copyright strike my ass. But this video at U.S. border with Texas sheriff. Now they talking about the border. They talking about illegal aliens, the immigrants, the convicts. Now look at this. I'm gonna go to, hold on. It's a section 29 minutes in. Listen to what the sheriff say. It's funny because what he's saying about these immigrants from Mexico and like the Latinos, it apply to white people too though. You know what I'm saying? Which don't make it right either. It mean both of them need to go. You know what I'm saying? In my eyes, you know what I mean? That you just say this about them and your ass get to stay. Let's let everybody go back to their home countries, take pride in where your ancestors are really from, and let's figure it out from there. Hey, look what he say though. Fair use YouTube. Matter of fact, let me switch the screen. We're just gonna play the audio.
Being brought across, when they get here, they're indebted to the cartels, and so it doesn't matter.
All
phones from the illegals.
All Mexicans, all Latinos work for the cartel. Salute. I'm telling you. Listen to what he say.
When they come, so that they can't call anybody.
When they get over?
The cartel takes them.
Takes them when
the coyotes will take the phones from the illegals before they bring them to this side of the river.
Okay.
So that they can't be filming them. They can't be geolocated. They can't make calls. They can't call for help if they get hurt. They don't want them to do that.
No, they want them to be at their behest of help. So, take away their means of helping themselves.
Yeah.
So they have to rely on them.
And they don't want to get caught.
Yeah.
Tell them how they slave. Tell them about the gun line, boss.
People aren't people. They're just product.
A lot of people don't realize the indentured servitude part of things, right? That a lot of these...
Y'all caught that, right? Let's take that back one more time. Are we looking at the indentured servitude part of things, the indentured slavery? Let's hear it from the Border Patrol itself about these Mexicans and these Arriva Dirty Latinos. Arriva Dirty looking ass. Let's hear what he said about them again.
So that they can't be filming them. They can't be geolocated. They can't make calls. They can't call for help if they get hurt. They don't want them to do that.
No, they want them to be at their behest of help. So, take away their means of helping themselves.
Yeah.
So they have to rely on them.
And they don't want to get caught.
Yeah.
So, because To them, the people aren't people, they're just product.
Products.
A lot of people don't realize the indentured servitude part of things, right? That a lot of these people come over here and they are basically indentured slavery, basically. They're just slaves.
Your $5 ass down before I make change. Got him!
I ain't playing, nigga.
So he could tell he get to call the indentured slaves, and I can't. He just said basically slavery.
Slaves to the cartel, and how does that work? What's going on with all
Who
that?
they slaves
So
to
that's
again?
part of the
People come over here and they are basically indentured slavery, basically. They're just slaves to the cartel, and how does that work? What's going on with all that?
So and that's part of the greatest misunderstanding about this. Most people think that this is an immigration issue that has gone on down here, but it's not. It's actually
slaves for the
slave trade.
cartel.
So the people
Cartel
that are
slaves.
being brought across, when they get here, they're indebted to the cartels. And so it doesn't matter whether an NGO transports.
Fair use. Slaves for the cartel. They indebted to the cartel. Just like the Europeans that came here in 1492. They was indebted to the cartel in Europe. Salute. They was slaves. Same thing. He said it, indentured slaves. You're coming from the horse's mouth. You heard him. Fair use.
them to the
Fair
inter-
use. This is for educational purposes. So don't be trying to copyright strike a naga.
area of the United States of America, or will they have to make their own way using a coyote or some other means? What happens is when they reach their final destination, they still have to pay off their debt to the cartel. And as a result, on average, it takes 8 to 13 years to buy your freedom. So
They gotta buy their freedom. Now, right now, he talking about indentured slaves. Hey, Israelite plight in the house, salute. He talking about indentured slaves right now. Right now, he talking about the 2024-25 indentured servant slaves. But it still applies to the 1492 and 1600 indentured slaves too. Everything he's saying now applies to his ancestors also. Pete that. We gotta understand that. Hey, salute to Miss Geechee God in the house, salute. So we gotta understand everything he's saying, and I'm not condoning them by no means. I'm just saying when we write the laws, this gotta apply to the Mexicans, the Latinos, and the white people. That's all I'm just saying. I ain't condoning none of this for nobody.
we have tens of millions of people that are in slavery or indentured servitude right here in the United States.
I can put it like this here. Let's put it like this here. The only people that deserve to stay in America is the free Negroes, the freed Negroes, and the all right, yeah. The only people that need to be in America, we can eliminate everybody real easy. The free people of color is the only people, and the Negroes that escaped and found their way back to the Indians. Everybody else gotta go. You know what I'm saying? If you ain't escaped slavery, and find your way back to the Indians and knew how to speak the language, you can go. But if you somehow knew the languages and found your way to the Indians, or you was a free person of color, I think you got the right to be here. Everybody else is up for debate. Where we was at? But everything he's saying apply to his ancestors too.
States. And so sometimes those people get sold from one master to the next.
See, they got
But
masters.
the thing about it is that
He said
To rely on them.
He said
Hello,
they,
friends.
He said
This
they
is
get
Jim.
sold from one master to the next. Damn, everything they told you about chattel slavery, they telling you like the boogeyman stories. Yeah, man, I'm gonna split up your family, nigga. You get sold from one master to the next. You getting whooped, nigga. Telling you all these stories. This shit was about them the whole time.
A lot of people don't realize
They was projecting.
the indentured servitude part of things, right? That a lot of these people come over here and they are basically indentured slavery. Basically, they're just slaves to the cartel. And how does that work?
Everybody from Mexico part of the cartel. I'm gonna tell you what I mean, because see, the cartel the one who brought them over here. See, they paying the cartel to get them over here, and they not broke. They not seeking asylum. They paying the cartel big money. I'm talking about thousands of dollars to get in this country, because they say you can't even. They say in Mexico, your ass better not try to cross that border unless the cartel bring your ass across. By the greater gunfire. They say you better not be in Mexico trying to cross the border to America without the cartel permission. You ain't get no. If you ain't get no, you talking about extortion. If you ain't get look what they doing in Trinidad, what they were doing in Colorado. You think the cartel down there in Mexico, the cartel run Mexico, the government and everything, they military, the cartel run all that shit. The cartel run border patrol down that bitch. How cartel run Mexican border patrol? If you ain't going across, you ain't breaking in America without paying the cartel first. I'm telling you. And it's easy. They gonna talk about it. Oh no, they gonna talk about it. So, hey, salute Enlightened one in the house. But yeah, y'all think they finna start like all the Beckys and the misguided sisters out here too, and the gay people, all the Democrats basically. They feeling sorry for you. Oh, they looking for a better way of life. They looking to make a better living. DMF is paying the cartel to come over here.
What's going on with all that?
So and that's part of the greatest misunderstanding about this. Most people think that this is an immigration issue that has gone on down here, but it's not. It's actually slave trade. So
it's the slave trade. The man on the board. Y'all see the fence? Y'all see the Donald Trump border wall right behind this damn man? Y'all see that shit? Y'all see that? This man out there on the Donald Trump wall, he telling you this a slave trade. This ain't nobody seeking asylum. They paying coyotes to bring them over here, nigga.
People that are being brought across, when they get here, they're indebted to the cartels. And so it doesn't matter whether an NGO transports them to the interior of the United States of America or whether they have to make their own way using a coyote or some other.
See, they say it don't matter if the coyote got to get your ass all the way up in here or you get to the border and the government. They say, the cartel said, look, we don't care if you get to the border without our help, and they let you in. They say, you get to the border and they let your ass in, the U.S. government let you in, they say, we got cartel members everywhere your ass going, and you going to have to pay up. It's basically what he just said. He basically just said that.
Or some other means. What happens is when they reach their final destination, they still have to pay off their debt to the cartel.
You still got to
And
pay.
as a result, on average, it takes 8 to 13 years to buy your freedom.
8 to 13 years of slavery for these Latinos, the Reaver Dirty looking ass to buy their freedom from the cartel. They all working for the cartel. All of them working for the cartel. All of them work for the cartel. That's why they talk. That's why they get over here and talk about, I work. I do 3 roofs in one day, Holmes. I do some roofs. What do you want to do, Holmes? They be all at Home Depot. They life depending on it. The cartel be about this. We done got your ass up here in the U.S. You better send this money back.
Another motherfucking word, and this shit is over.
Cartel on their
I
ass.
ain't playing
The
no.
people that are in slavery or indentured servitude right here in the United States. And so
Come fucking
sometimes
our
those people
economy
get
up.
sold from one master to the next.
They getting sold
But
master
the
to
thing about
master.
it is they always
I'm
have
about
to
go
pay
to Home
off.
Depot and buy me a slave, man. Come on, Holmes. Stop my Taco Bell on the way. Yeah, motherfucker. $10, some Taco Bell, and a Corona. Well, nah, they drank Modelo. Old Modelo licking ass. Make his ass do a bunch of work. So let me see. Trying to put a battery in his back, turn loose. Let me see what you can do before we deport. Then call ICE on him when I'm done with his ass. Get his ass deported. But I got one around here, y'all.
Off that debt. Because if they don't pay that debt off, then somebody is going to have to pay. And so the cartels in Mexico run a very robust intelligence network. And as a result, if they don't pay that debt off and they can't be found, then somebody else in their family is going to have to pay that debt off.
Shut up.
Can't find you, Holmes.
Another motherfucking word.
Don't
and
want to
this
pay
shit
the
is over.
cartel, Holmes.
And I ain't playing, nigga.
We find your abuela, Holmes. Say goodbye to grandma. Say goodbye to abuela. And say hello to my little friend, huh? You know, send my money, Holmes.
Motherfucking word, and this shit is over. And I ain't playing.
Hey, they say your ass better pay. They say you get over here and run if you want to. We're gonna send your ass grandma fingernails in the mail. That's why they be talking about. That's why I remember when Ice was first getting busy a couple weeks ago. They started crying about their grandma. Me, boy, love. Yeah, her ass work for the cartel too. We ain't stupid. We know her old ass work for the cartel too.
Whether their sister's put into prostitution, their brother becomes a drug mule, that debt will be paid off by somebody at some point in time.
We're gonna pimp out. They be pimping out their little sister. They say, "All right, you up there in America. You think you done got away, huh?"
And so that's what this really has been. The administration took and pushed tens of millions of slaves into the United States of America.
Tell the truth about it. Speak on it. They pushed millions of slaves on us. Y'all niggas, they raking our economy. They finna rake the wages, cheap labor. They say all these Walmart, McDonald's, all them sitting back like this here. They like, boy, all these slaves. Say no English, no need, Holmes. No need, Holmes. We don't need English. They done put all these slaves on us. It's MF in 1492 all over again. The same thing happened in 1492. Other countries puts a whole bunch of slaves on us. Just everything he just said. Everything he just said. Everything. He a descendant of it.
And has created a peon class that...
You heard? Motherfucking peons, man. Created a peon class.
Say another
to F up our economy.
word, and this shit is over.
That's why you're not just gonna have to start opening businesses, man. Not gonna have to start opening businesses, man. I'm telling you, man. They done created a peon. You think you finna go in there with your resume talking about, yeah, I know what I'm worth. They done got, you think you finna work 8 hours, make a living, and go home. They got Jose ass over here. His grandma being held hostage by the cartel. He ducking them, ain't paid his money. They done sent her toenail in the mail. Jose about to work 18 hours a day. So they don't kill his grandma. And ice on his ass too at the same time. This is what's really going on. But wait till you find out how much they paying the cartel to get them over here.
should not be here, because if you're going to come here, you should come here legally, and you should
That's
be
all I'm saying. You should come here legally. The only way you can be an immigrant is the legal way. And you got to wait somewhere else while we figure that out. And then if you come illegally, you an invader. It ain't no such thing as illegal immigrants. All illegal immigrants are not immigrants. They are invaders. You a legal invader. We need to get the language right.
afforded the opportunity to reap all the benefits that America has to offer.
All our tax money.
What are we doing right now? What is this here?
So we're underneath one of the international bridges under Highway 396. This is the same bridge that the NGOs and Border Patrol had set up under, and we're processing.
It's another part where he was saying something that I wanted to point out. I ain't gonna play his whole shit. Matter of fact, I ain't gonna play no more. If y'all want to check it out, how he was calling the immigrants the same thing that he is, and how the rules should apply to all of them, you could just go to his channel. It's Nick Johnson. He got about 1 million something subscribers. He got some all right stuff he put out. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? I look at some of his stuff just for information. You see. But at the U.S. border with Texas Sheriff, exclusive access. So y'all go check Nick Johnson out. Y'all even tell him House of Con sent you over there. He might come check me out. Salute to Nick Johnson. But I got something else I'd rather show y'all than that before we end this show. If y'all ain't done so, y'all need to go over here and subscribe. This channel here. It's called Unedited History. Unedited History. Go subscribe. I ain't got one subscriber right now on that channel. It's gonna be different. This ain't gonna be no live stream channel. This gonna be a documentary channel. And if you go there, it's already one video over there, just a preview to a documentary. Uncle Sam, America Personified. That's the preview. So go subscribe to Unedited History. See if we can get 1,000 subscribers over there. See if we can get this monetized. All right, I'm gonna let y'all know now. I ain't gonna be wilding over there. I know y'all want the jokes. It's gonna be on House of Cons. Over here, this is gonna be a migrant-friendly channel. Everybody's welcome at Unedited History. We gonna still keep it real about history, but we gonna tone the language down over here. We gonna see if we can make this channel successful over here. We gonna still keep House of Cons, the gutter channel. I might end up even like if we can make this channel blow up, Unedited History, the censored channel, if we can make this channel blow up, I might lock House of Cons down. I might close the membership and and subscribership to only the people that's already here. You know what I'm saying? So other people can't even find House of Cons. House of Cons is gonna be a secret channel, and y'all, if they ain't already on board, well, you know what I'm saying? That's what House of Cons about to turn into. But let me. So we gonna look at the preview. I ain't gonna even post stuff that's over here. Is not gonna be posted in Patreon. It's not gonna be posted on House of Cons. This is his own thing over here, and like this is the preview of a documentary I'm working on.
What if I told you everything that you were taught was a lie? Better yet, a set of lies agreed upon, constructed and manipulated to fit a particular perspective. This is the story of Uncle Sam, the slave. The land of the free, home of the slave. It's no secret, from the White House to the Capitol, to the Transcontinental Railroad, America was built on the backs of black people.
I was quite surprised to see you use the word Aborigines talking about African Americans.
You can't just close down camp and stop trying to do the things that you think are right just because somebody, you may give them an unfortunate bit of ammunition. You still got to continue to fight on and do what's best for the state in the long run. And frankly, it's going to give me the opportunity to talk about things that I may never been able to talk about before.
On April 15, 1493, Columbus returned to Barcelona, Spain, after his first voyage to the Americas. He brought with him a group of indigenous people from the Caribbean whom he considered to be Indians, to be enslaved and presented to the Spanish monarchs, King Ferdinand and Queen Isabella, as a demonstration of his success in finding new lands and potential labor sources. This act marked the beginning of the enslavement of American Indians and the transatlantic slave trade. Columbus and his men rounded up Arawak men, women, and children, and enclosed 550 of them into pens and 4 caravels bound for the slave markets of southern Spain during his second voyage to the New World. Approximately 200 perished during the passage, and their bodies are cast into the sea. After the survivors are sold as slaves in Spain, Columbus later writes, "Let us, in the name of the Holy Trinity, go on sending all the slaves that can be sold." Additionally, while in Haiti, Columbus orders all natives 14 years or older to collect a certain amount of gold every 3 months
and an impossible task since there is so little gold there. If Arawak natives do not collect enough, Columbus has their hands cut off and tortures them. Bartolomeu de las Casas, a young priest, witnesses many atrocities committed by Spaniards against native people. He later wrote, "I saw here cruelty on a scale no living being has ever seen or expects to see." Las Casas describes the treatment of natives thus: "Our work was to exasperate, ravage, kill, mangle, and destroy. Small wonder then, if they tried to kill one of us now and then. The admiral, it is true, was blind as those who came after him, and he was so anxious to please the king that he committed irreparable crimes against the Indians." Las Casas also notes that the Spaniards thought nothing of knifing Indians by tens and twenties and of cutting slices off them to test the sharpness of their blades. Dundas Versus was a papal bull issued by Pope Nicholas V in 1452. The bull was part of the doctrine of discovery, which was used to justify the colonization of the Americas and enslavement of indigenous peoples. The bull authorized the king to fight against Saracens and pagans who were rising against the Catholic faith. The bull used language that identified non-Europeans as quote-unquote other and targeted them for slavery. The bull was followed up by the Bull Romanus Pontifex, which extended dominion over quote-unquote discovered lands to Catholic nations of Europe. The doctrine of discovery was used as a precedent in the U.S. legal system. The Vatican has formally rejected the doctrine of discovery. The doctrine of discovery was a religious decree in the 1400s that became the basis for legal concepts in the U.S. Aunt, as in Aunt Jemima, was the term used for older enslaved women in the South who were not allowed by their white owners to use the term Miss or Mrs. Same with uncle, as in Uncle Ben's converted rice. Uncle was used for older enslaved men because they were not allowed by their white owners to use the term Mr. Uncle Ben, Uncle Tom, Uncle Ruckus, and Uncle Sam, all Uncle slaves, the personification of America.
Salutations! It's your Uncle Sam, and this is the Great American Game.
Uncle Sam has a not-so-secret dark past. Hidden meanings in plain sight, childhood fairy tales, and nursery rhymes hold clues about America's true history. Whether Yankee Doodle Dandy or Nigger Doodle Dandy, the racial subject is clear as day. So what does all this really amount to? Patriotic symbols of a virtuous nation, the rabbit hole turned out to be deeper than the majority of us would imagine. We are told that Uncle Sam was a Yankee character created in 1813. Have we all been deceived? The more we know nothing. According to historical research,
An estimate of as many as 5 million indigenous people were enslaved in the Americas between the arrival of Columbus and the early 20th century. Indigenous people were enslaved by various European powers across the Americas, including the Spanish, French, and British, often through warfare and forced displacement. This aspect of history is often overlooked or hidden, despite the significant number of indigenous people who were enslaved. Historically, in all regions of the United States, particularly in the South, American Indians were often classified as colored or Negro due to racist policies and the one drop rule, which categorized anyone with even a trace of Negro ancestry as black. This practice was especially prevalent in Virginia, where officials like Walter Plecker effectively reclassified American Indians as colored on official records. The enslavement of and reclassification of American Indians as Negro effectively erased 5 million indigenous people, a paper genocide, Walter Plecker's very own American Holocaust. Hidden in plain sight, the descendants of these American Indians are unaware of their true history and their true identity. Tribe up. So that's the preview. That's the first 10 minutes. It's gonna be about an hour-long documentary, and making this kind of content take time. It ain't as casual as what we do over here at the House of Cons. You know what I mean? Like, we could pop off live shows down there every night over here, and it's more of a casual approach because we know the information, so we just pop off with it more on the freestyle like that. But this type of content, you gotta write scripts. I had to write all that, and even for just 9 minutes worth of footage, and even doing the editing, it takes 2 days. That's 2 days of material just for 9 minutes. If you want to do it where, it's family friendly. Like, I showed my mom, she like what I'm working on. This, my mom, she can stomach something like that more than what we do over here. This show at House of Con, this for you old urban engines. That's what this for. I plead the fifth in the house, salute. Yeah, this for you urban engines over here. We a little raw and uncut, like we don't really be roasting it all, but like if you want like the pass along the message, but you like, man, I want to show my people some of this, but Blackjack be wild, so I get it, my dog. I get it. I do get it. I know, cause I know sometimes, cause even though we be roasting, cause it's strictly for monogas over here. I told everybody from the jump what time it was with this channel. I know some people want to push the message out, but they probably might be like, it's a little too raw, and certain people might be offended, like their family members, like their mama or their grandma or even kids or whatever. So I said, I'm gonna do something more professional. I'm gonna tone the language down. I'm gonna still get the message across, and probably actually get the message across better because it's not freestyle. It's more put together when you do these things. But that channel won't be dropping content every night or 2 or 3 nights in a row or 3-4 times a week like House of Cons do sometimes, because you just can't. I can't. It's just me. I don't have editors and people like that working for me. It's just me. So if I'm chopping up and editing the documentary, it might be only one piece of content coming out a week on that channel, but it'll be long form content, and it'll be well put together that you can show anybody you want to. Salute. And like honestly, I don't know too many people that could tell the story like us. Even like if we took it serious and we played the game real, I don't think too many people can F with us telling the story for real. But yeah, y'all make sure y'all go over there and subscribe to Unedited History. It should be easy to find it because I made sure I picked a name for the channel that ain't nobody using, something that nobody ain't like. I ain't want to pick a name that you throw the name in there and there's a whole bunch of other channels pop up and all kind of other stuff. Like when you put Unedited History in the search, in your YouTube search, it'll
it'll pop up at the top of the list. So that's why I made that name Unedited, because we are unediting history. They done edited history. They done lied. We got an unedited history. Yeah, it's gonna be different kind of content over there. So it won't be like choosing between the House of Cons and unedited history. Nah, it's gonna be two different channels. Hey, but I'm gonna get at y'all later. I gotta go get busy and take care of some business, man. I appreciate everybody for joining the live. And we're gonna get at y'all next time. Peace.
From the Indians who welcome the pilgrims, and to the buffaloes who once ruled the plain. Like the vultures circling beneath the dark clouds, look